This woman is Janine Jackson, a left-wing radio journalist in New York City. With all we know, all the facts about Bush, it was all there,
right,
to be seen, to be heard. So the pro-Bush persons, they know about the facts and the figures and the reality?
Well, in fact, there's actual research to suggest that they do not know the reality. There was some research done at the University of Maryland, and they looked at folks who watched Fox News, and they compared it to folks who got their news from other outlets, for example, public broadcasting. And what they found was that folks who primarily got their news from Fox overwhelmingly believed that Saddam Hussein had weapons of mass destruction. Now, you and I know that it's impossible to avoid the information that Iraq did not have weapons of mass destruction, and yet this myth has taken hold in many people's minds.
What will be your choice for 2004?
I'm going to have to say George W. Bush, definitely.
And why?
I have done a lot of researching in the politics, and I'm majoring in political science, and I just really support everything he's done with our country and in Iraq, and I just really agree with all the policies. The administration has done some great things.
What do you think about the war in Iraq? Do you think it was a just cause?
Yeah, I think it was a just cause. There's no way we would have gone and sacrificed that many lives if there weren't, and I really honor all the men and women who lost their lives over there, and I think it was a really respectable thing that they've done, and I'm really glad to see all the Iraqis that are so thankful for everything we've done, and the Prime Minister and everything. It's just really awesome to see everything that's going on over there.
What happens is that people start with their own beliefs, their own fears, their own biases. Everyone does. And then I think what happens is people sometimes seek out information that supports what they already believe. And I think there are people who are progressive who may do the same thing, but I think it's certainly a tenet of the right wing that we can point to, that from the Bush administration on down, you find your research and your arguments after you have already made your decision about what you want to do.
What do you think about reports saying that there was no arms of mass destruction in Iraq? What do you think about that?
I believe that we would not have gone into Iraq if there wasn't an extremely probable cause that there were weapons of mass destruction. To say whether there actually were or not, I don't know. There could still be possibly hiding somewhere, but I highly doubt that this administration would lead us into a country for a reason that was made up somehow. That's ludicrous. So I believe there's a lot of things we don't know that the administration has confidential and can't really tell us. So I don't think the American people know everything that there is to know about the reasons we exactly went in, but I definitely trust our administration.
They also are surrounded by other people who want them to believe the same way they do. I think it's very difficult to be the only person in your community who is against the war. We have many pressures on us, our workmates, our family, and maybe even you may have those differing opinions, but there's perhaps a greater tendency to keep them to yourself, which makes it seem as though you don't have them at all. I think we may have what Amy Goodman has called a silenced majority, lots and lots of people who have qualms, who have fears, but they're surrounded by this flag waving and this feeling that if you are critical of the war, then you are spitting on the graves of the people who have died, and that's a tremendous amount of pressure to, if not change your mind, at least to stay silent.